And welcome back
to Marriage Beyond the Veil. Is that your spooky voice?
No.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Marriage Beyond the Veil. So I'm all into the Olympics.
The Olympics. Okay.
So, do you know what a spotter is?
Someone that makes sure when you're tumbling or flipping or whatever that you don't hurt yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And where else would you see a spotter?
Oh, in weightlifting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there are also spotters like in racing.
Okay.
So they're on two-way radios, letting the driver know if there's danger, because they do have some blind spots.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. When I was
Okay.
researching spotters, I found there were spotters in other sports. But yeah, the spotter is basically there to make sure that... What?
Another spotter.
What?
When you're hunting, the dog's like, there it is.
Yes. This is true. Dog is a spotter.
There it is.
But yeah, so spotters are there to make sure that they don't have an accident.
Okay.
Basically, to support them. So if you see tumbling runs, they may be there to catch them just in case they extend themselves, or they have too much bounce and they look like they're about to fall. So it's just to protect them. So in a love relationship, I would say that we are each other's spotters.
Absolutely. You want to make certain that you're watching out, like you said, because blind spots.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has a blind spot. Mm-hmm. And so, part of your responsibility in caring for one another and protecting one another is to make sure that you don't get ambushed in your blind spot. Mm-hmm. And when I say ambush, I don't mean necessarily physically, but that too.
Could happen.
Yeah.
But mentally, and I would say for me, one of the best things about my spotter is I can discuss stuff with him, and sometimes I can be a little...
Passionate?
Yeah, let's go with passionate. That's a good way to put it. I was going to say a little less diplomatic than he can be.
Okay.
And so sometimes that's where he spots me.
But, and the same can be said for me too.
Yes.
There are times when, like, let's go at this from an apostolic perspective.
Okay.
When you're talking about the apostles.
Yes.
John, the disciple that Jesus loved. Disciples became the apostles.
Right.
John was more of a kind of, a loving, caressing, more warm, fuzzy kind of disciple. Whereas Peter was impetuous.
Yes.
Peter cut off Malchus's ear. So my inner Peter comes to the surface from time to time.
Yeah, it does.
Where ears have to fly.
Mm-hmm.
More times than not, I tend to try to tap into my John.
Right.
However, but Peter's there.
It does rear up sometimes, yes. Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And
point being, we both have opportunities
right
where that spotting needs to come in, where we need to pull back.
Right. And a lot of times you don't see from the same angle. So that's why the spotters like are good in racing and also in tumbling, because you may not see how high you're up and you're coming down, and they're like, ooh, they're going to over-rotate.
And that's an excellent point, because when you're actively engaged or involved in whatever it is, you can't see you, but someone that's not you can clearly see from a perspective that you don't have.
Exactly.
And when you're in a love relationship, you realize that this person has your best interest at heart. And so even if they have to tell you some unpleasant truth, right, you realize, okay, it's coming from a place of love. Why would they say this? I may not even agree with it, but why would they say it? At least it gets you to thinking that, okay, is it possible?
Right.
And if you're willing to say it's possible, then you're willing to really accept the truth, even when one doesn't want to.
Right.
Yeah.
So, is your spouse, is your partner your spotter?
A spotting spouse.
It says.
Until tomorrow, spot for the ones you love.